Hey, this is Kristian Snow doing his portfolio assignment for Creative Presentation Month 1. Let's begin with knowledge. I learned that the hero of a presentation is the audience. That makes me the Yoda. And because of that, it really gave me a very good perspective of what I'm going for and how exactly to present to my audience. But then there was also a lot of discussion on how slides need to remain in synchrony, text, fonts, sizes of things, and even the color scheme. Make them all the same. Don't make a Frankenslide. And then also, when you're building your presentation, it's almost like Lego blocks, where you're like, I need a star moment, I need a story, I need to appeal to this and this and this. And so I'm making sure I have all these moments in there, but they also have to follow a spark line of interest of what is and what could be. Now, getting into application, I had to research my audience. I didn't know who I was going to work for, but I picked Focus Features because I liked some of the films that they marketed. But then I looked at other films that they marketed, and I felt like this doesn't represent me. But also I did some more research on staff and found that they're paid less than normal. Great family atmosphere, but then there's this ceiling where once you get up into the ranks, it stops there. You don't get any higher and you have to leave. So it's a great place temporarily, but not long term. One of our first assignments was to talk about a favorite film of ours, and I had to re-record it because it was so unauthentic. It was like me trying to be Metro Man here, representing the city, but he's so hollow, and I needed to be more like Megamind, who's relatable. And the reason why is because in order to be influential in the business entertainment industry, I've got to hit all three of these. There's logic, which is the spreadsheet and the numbers, called logos, but you've got to be emotionally attached to it, create emotional attachment to it, but then also establish credibility. The reason why is because these artists' work is like a fragile egg, and it can break, but you're expected to run with it as fast as you can. And so asking them to move from one stage to another, like social media platform to virtual reality, that's a huge leap for them to make. And hitting all three of these is necessary to give them the persuaded argument to do so. So as I give this argument, I need to make sure that I'm clear with the message, that I'm authentic, as I noticed, that I am true to myself, and that I wish them well. This is all stuff I'm putting into my personal brand and how I represent, and I practice this by creating a presentation for Focus Features in New York. So now let's talk about the other dimension. The human dimension. Working with my colleagues, I found that presenting suddenly became a lot more scary because I talked to these people on one level, and then being on stage, I suddenly had to be different. And it was a very terrifying experience, and I wasn't expecting that. It's easier actually to perform in front of a bunch of strangers. Another thing I did was raise the bar with my presentation level, and I hope they don't see it as competition, but as a resource. I want to work with them, I want to network with them, and anything that they do that's amazing, I want to jump on board with that. So this was like a first step into the deep pool in what I hope to achieve. Now, understanding that creative presentation is a holy ground, as Duarte's book Resonate speaks of, it's not a place to give a report. It's the place where Nick Fury is assembling the Avengers. The company's never going to be the same. People are never going to walk away the same. And you only have 20 minutes to change the world. That's what I want to do. That's part of my brand is I want to make the world a better place. And understanding that gives me a huge heart for presentation. We've got to learn exactly what the keys are, because if you hit it all right, you can bring the Avengers together to save the day. And so it seems weird to have such a serious face over, caring, but you got to realize Nick Fury's also got a fun side to him. Come on. All right, so the last one to talk about is learning how to learn. And we learned about grit, that is really the key to success, just sticking to it. But oftentimes, people think that it's your skills, your talents, or your abilities that help you, and that's just a part of it. You know, Mr. Incredible needed to work out in order to be able to fit back into his former potential. And with grit, you get grit by knowing that you have to work out. And so this first month, I've been working really hard, training my brain, because I know that the future of Full Sail is gonna be tough. And so working out my brain gets me there, and when I get there, it's not gonna be as hard as I expected it to be. This is Kristian Snow, and that's it. Thank you for listening.